When the clock strikes 6:30, babe, turn to head for golden lines. Hey, it's a good time for the great taste dinner at McDonald's. It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight. And that was Caio Borralho with Mac Tonight. Let's give him a standing ovation, folks. Mac Tonight, what a kind, fresh-faced young man. And troopers and grinders, welcome to MMA Overlord, man. Overload. And give me time to fucking set this up because I fucked up and I should have done it earlier. God damn it. I was going to get right into it with a fucking transition. I'm really close, guys. Don't make fun of me. I'm stopping. Give me one second to read that. Oh, God. Damn it. All right. Now I got it. Me. Show. After show. After show. After show. After show. After goddamn show. Jesus Christ. I'm excited, yet so frightened at the same time. How are we going to watch all this crap? I can't freaking handle, man. I'm getting suffocated by all this beautiful violence, man. I can't cope. It's game over, man. Game over.
Lucky for you.
Survive, Skatesman. How do we survive?
We survive by having the greatest MMA podcast on the face of the earth, the SkateTank MMA podcast. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to watch half this shit because I am stuck in a hotel working one more day in northern Montana. Mm-hmm. And yeah, right. Try not to bother my coworker too much who is over there. By the way, what is your hottest MMA take?
Sean O'Malley is gay.
Sean O'Malley is a cuck, and he is in fact gay tonight. Both Sean O'Malley and Neil Magny dealing with the custody of their children. Family disputes with the cuck.
Family disputes for both of these fighters in a cage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's a SkateTank MMA podcast, delivering it to you on the road. PFL, actually, tell you the truth, has been pretty damn good lately. I'm a PFL hater, but got to give him credit where credit's due.
Not consistent.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit, we've been getting some decent fights, some decent finishes. So,
yes, sir. Well, we'll get to that, man. We're doing a semi-full card breakdown for that one. But first,
yeah, we're half hard for that. First, real quick, what's up, Sean? What's up, Andrew? Anthony says it's past his bedtime. What a loser.
He's gone. What a loser! What a loser, Gascow is. He's from Russia.
Kenny Bigum says that you're flirting with him in his DMs. Any response to those allegations?
I'd actually hit him with an Uno reverse card and say that this dude is basically flirting with my fucking mom and saying that he's like bang my mom and basically, oh, I'd like to take those fucking loins and blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
And absolutely horrific graphic descriptions of my mother. And then when he's not doing that, he's posting stuff about his banana and shitting all over the place and playing turtle with his farts. So I fucking
fair enough.
Lost his damn mind, and he's
he is kind of a weirdo, but you know what? That's why we love him. Juice Man, what's up? He says nollie heel front feeble, back 180 out. That sounds really hard.
Listen, I'll let you back
on the right side, so he's regular. Yes, I am regular.
I'll let you back in. I'll let you back into my DMs, Tyrone, if you say that you'll never talk about my mother ever again. Deal?
Yeah, don't talk about the dude's mom. Come on.
Anyway, the Kiwi from Ballsy 8. What a guy.
So he says, yo, tell your coworker, yeah, fuck O'Sally. 100%. What's up? What are we talking about? We're talking about Hank the Tank's locks for this weekend.
Exactly. Let's get to those locks, shall we? First and foremost, we got a pretty crazy series of events from the UFC. We're actually getting three events from the UFC, 2 roads to the UFC, if you can believe it. Road to the UFC is back. And they're very unpredictable because sometimes they're in fucking February, sometimes they're in October, sometimes they're in the middle of the summer. You never know when this shit's about to pop up, but we got some very decent prospects. I mean, not these, a lot of them have like at least 3 losses in their records, but should make for some exciting fights. Kui Hee Yan, I'm valuing her. I'll get to my lock in a second. Su Young Yu is fighting this guy. Oh, God, I've got to pronounce this. Misi Zaupasi. He's a Zaupusi is what he is, man. And he's 9-1. Also, he's got like an NPC kind of custom character, create your character.
I agree.
And then we got Dong Hoon Choi. He's not a member of the Duho Choi family, but he's getting close, dude. He's like a second cousin twice removed. And he's going against the greatest Indian prospect since Anshar Jubilee, On God Bisht, the On God bitch. Hey, why don't you redeem, sir? Why won't you let me into Road to UFC? I can make you a lot of money, you know. And then finally we got Tokitaka Nakanishi. And what promotion is he in again? Let me check. He is in Pancrase. Pancrase, nice. Way back in the day, is still around. So I hope that guy wins because just from looking at his profile pic, he's got a glowing personality. But let's get to my lock that I have for this little event. Oh,
and what's up, Cool Breeze? Good to see you. Can't wait to kick it with you in Atlanta and watch one, man.
Yes, sir. I have this man right here on the left, Kiru Singh Sahota. Well, he's getting close to being an Indian and tapping into the market. We're getting so close, but damn it, he's from England. But he's like half, you know, like Kamala Harris. Yeah, taking on Ruel Panales. And this guy, Panales, he's got a shit record, and he's been getting knocked out by quite a few mofos, whereas Kiru Singh Sahota, he's getting nothing but first-round finishes and looking real good. And how do I put this, man? He's been getting round 1 KOs, and then Ruel Panales is getting, like, finished in the exact same way that Sahota finishes his fights. So I actually seeing this being like one of the few first-round finishes we get for this little event. And Sahota can keep up his momentum. He's got a hell of a future. We then move on to LFA 190. And my lock for this one is Miguel.
Battle of the Chest tattoos.
Yes, sir. Between fucking Diego Lopez. Oh, wait, that's not Diego Lopez. That's Miguel Jacob against Danny Ramirez, the realist. Well, I got to be realistic with Danny Ramirez. The guy's going to get fucking put out cold by Miguel Jacob because this guy, again, he's been on nothing but a finish streak. Looks badass. He's got better musculature than this little shrimp. And Danny Ramirez is just some guy who wasn't even in the LFA, and this is his debut fight, whereas Miguel Jacob has had 4 or 5 fights with the LFA so far. So I feel like the meathead steroid freak is going to get it done. We then move on to our second part for Road to UFC. This one I think is a lot more exciting. It's got some profile pics and names that I sort of recognize or have seen before at some point or another. So go to Muradov 10-0 against Jonathan Piersma. That's going to be a fucking slaughter. And then Shin Haraguchi. Where has Shin Haraguchi been? Because his name is very familiar. He has been.
Oh shit! Sorry.
In a bunch of Road to UFCs. That's why I recall him. He's been in Road to UFCs.
Oh, what the fuck?
In May of 2023, and he's still not getting a contract.
Well, he lost to Rong Zhu, who I think won the last one.
Yes, he did. So he's back on the right track, as Chris Farley would put it. And then Zhang Dong. What is her nickname again? Hua Mulan. So she is the MMA Mulan, man.
That's fucking badass.
Yes, sir. Her hairstyle sort of looks like Chun-Li from Street Fighter too. I'm liking it. And then Ming Shi has actually been on a bit of a roll. She's been on a win streak actually. It's more of a close fight than we think it's going to be. And she 3-fight win streak. But look at these opponents, man. 0-0, 0-0, lost to a 1-1. But then she won against a 7-3. But Dong's gonna fucking put that dong on her, you know. No. Yeah.
Andrew B has a question. He says, "Idaho, do you like my post of his courthouse?" I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's a fantastic post.
Yeah, the rule of law, you know, comes through at the end of the day. Whenever the based one, the King Chadru, is reigning over the court proceedings. But then there's Bin Shi, and I've seen him in a few fights on Road to UFC as well. And he's taking on this guy. He just has a very likable face. And he's got like pride never die. He looks like a underdog. So
what a fantastic card. I'm sure barely anybody will watch.
Except me, Hank the Tank. Their sole viewer. They're going to have higher numbers than fucking Power Slap. It's going to go huge on TikTok. Let me tell you, the Chinese audience, they're begging for shit like this. But this is my luck for the evening. Good old Xiaocon Fang the second. I think she's going to beat Miki Matono by submission in the first round. We want to know why? Because literally their last opponent was each other. And Xiaocon Fang subbed her in round 3. And so I feel like if she's not going to be looking good in that fight, I feel like Fang's going to have her figured out immediately going into this fight, and then it's just going to be game over. Game over, man! Game over!
Usually when two fighters have a fight and one finishes the other, and it, gets ran back fairly quickly, the other person finishes said opponent faster. So
yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't have said that in a worse way, but yes, that is generally what happens.
Well, it makes sense. You translate it through me, and I can barely translate anything that somebody says. My brain's declining.
Fair enough.
Finally, we got a card that I'm not all that interested in. I do love the promotion. Good old KSW and the
KSW.
Polish steroid freak. Good battle. Jan Blachowicz. I fight for my people. And I got
How much are KSW pay-per-views, by the way?
What?
How much are KSW pay-per-views?
I'm not sure.
Really? It's like $15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're usually a good product for the money. I don't know. I don't really follow KSW very much, but always a decent watch. But they're usually happening at the same time as like a UFC event, so I never really watch.
Yeah, and they're so cheap that even Isha is able to watch them. So
it's
got to count for something. But I got good old Igor Mikhalzin versus Oton Jesse. I got Mikhalzin by round 1 knockout because this guy he's roided to the gills, man. He's reaching Lance Armstrong levels, And then Oton Jesse, he's been on a losing streak in KSW, getting finished by.
I like Sean's.
KO.
I like Sean's.
Crazy steroid warriors. Yeah, that's
what KSW stands for.
Love it. Exactly. Yeah, and I can't speak Polish, so I'm just gonna go with that fucking English translation. But good old Igor, he's gone on from just being a henchman with a hunchback to the real deal. Oh yes, I will not.
Also, K1 is having a Grand Prix this week. That's gonna be fantastic. Really hard to watch, I'm guessing. You have to find it on the underground sources, but which is stupid. K1 should, and they don't even have a website, which is really dumb. But those events have been fantastic this year. So
yeah,
the K1's back, man. You got to check it out.
Yeah, dude, their last show was fucking ruled, dude. Just nothing but fucking round 1, round 2 finishes of little Japanese guys are throwing like jump knees from like a mile.
No, you're talking about Rise. K1's last event was a heavyweight Grand Prix in Italy.
Yes. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, that was fun as well.
So back in the day, K1, like if you were the K1 Max like World Grand Prix winner, that means you were like the fucking man in K1. Alistair Overeem famously won the K1 like twice.
Yeah, and then he won the Dream title and a bunch of other stuff too.
And that was his famous rivalry with Badr Hari back when Badr Hari was like not chinny. And did you know Badr Hari's never won a fight in Glory?
That's fucking wild. He's got to be cursed.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. But yeah, no, K1 is used to be the most reputable title in kickboxing, so it's just awesome to see K1 back, man. It's a one-night tournament, and they'll have like guys like fight a bunch of times. So yeah, K1's the shit.
Yeah, and who was the last guy that won the tournament? I watched it all the way through, but he wasn't he some like Eastern European?
No, he was an English guy, the guy who won the last Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So all the guys who win the Grand Prix will be fighting at the end of the year for the Max title.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love learning about K1 more and more.
No Chill says, seeing you guys become hardcore and watch kickboxing generally makes me happy. I hope you guys fuel your combat addictions more. I've been into kickboxing for a few years now, but hence why I brought up Badr Hari and Alistair. But no, for sure, I love this new, like, kickboxing is becoming more and more popular as the years come by. Kickboxing goes in waves. If you remember, Glory had events in America like years back, but they just stopped. And Glory is fallen off, but that just means that there's more space for, more kickboxing promotions like K1 to have a revival. And Rise is always solid, but you got to watch it at 4 a.m. and it's 14 fucking fights. So
yeah. I feel like there's a strange phenomenon among a lot of Asian MMA promotions and in general that culture where they want to sort of be more isolationist in terms of their shows, who's getting presented with what, so they can keep their like local economy and not have like their ideas or formats for their promotion stolen. But do you think a lot of Asian promotions could benefit more from tours in the U.S.?
100%, dude. Like, if Ryzen had a show in America, I'm sure that bitch would get sold out. But I mean, just look at what happened with One in Denver last year. Place was packed, but a lot of people like didn't even know. Like, we were holding up red and yellow cards, and people were like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And we're like, "Bruh, like what?" Like, so there was a lot of casuals that came to just see DJ. It was very strategically smart for One to have DJ headline the card, but when Stamp and Rodtang walked out, they got huge pops. So that was awesome to see. So yeah, it's proven that it works. Chatri, good on him. He does most things wrong. He's a terrible promoter, but when he does things right, like 4-ounce Muay Thai and bringing One to the United States, I think it's a success.
Yeah, I don't usually book promotions in America.
Sorry, you gotta pop your if you're gonna do Chatri. Yeah, like, mess up your hair.
Oh Jesus, it's too perfect. And so I'm trying to do the Dos Equis guy. I don't usually.
Dos Equis, sorry.
But when I do, I prefer Denver. Stay thirsty, my friends.
And Andrew B says K1 is on Sunday. I believe so. Or Glory. Glory is actually next week. They don't need the Western market. There are more middle-class Chinese consumers than the entire U.S. population. That's probably accurate. I'm not even going to lie. But, just that experience of having a live show in the States to me it's not like it's important obviously for their brand to continue, but it's just better for eyes. I mean, obviously I'm not saying anything outrageous, but it's just better for eyes on the sport, and we can talk about it more when it's relevant in the States.
And we know that One's troubles have not been from risks regarding venues, but rather their own fucking talent roster and what they're doing with that. And
that's a whole nother podcast, but yeah, let's get into the UFC, man.
All right. What about the PFL?
Oh, my bad. PFL first.
Yeah, the lovely PFL always comes first here at the SkateTank podcast. We love ourselves some PFL. Starting with Tyler Diamond taking on.
Should we ban Kenny Bigums?
What did he say?
I don't think you want to see what he's saying.
God damn you, motherfucker! Yeah, you're.
All right, Sean, put him in timeout for like
timeout.
10,000 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Don't ban him. Don't ban him outright. You just got to time him out.
It said timeout.
Oh my gosh. Let's see if Sean can undo that. But anyway,
we'll fix it in the editing. But anyway, let's move on. We got Tyler Diamond taking on Enrique Barzola.
All right, tell me about this Tyler Diamond guy.
I like him. He's actually had some good performances recently.
Is he related to Dustin Poirier at all?
Well, he's definitely been under pressure, and he's really turned it into success in the PFL. He beat Brett Johns by unanimous decision, as well as Otto Rodriguez, who was 14-1 going into their fight, and he emerged victorious as a massive upset.
Yeah, and
it's sort of
Ivalaev and Brendan Loughnane are not bad losses to have, but I would say those last two opponents are probably, or at least Brett Johns' is his highest level opponent. Enrique Barzola is a scrappy dude. He took Pitbull to I think he's fought Pitbull for a combined total of an hour or more. So, tough guy. He's he's not dangerous in that he has knockout power, but he's dangerous in the fact that he's there the whole 15 minutes. So,
right.
But is a strange matchup because, and then this is one thing confusing about this card to me is a lot of these guys are coming off of losses. So is this part of the tournament or is it just fights that they're having?
I don't think Tyler Diamond's been part of any tournaments at all.
Okay.
He's a regular on the PFL roster that they put in the undercards, but if he keeps on racking up wins, they might just put him in a tournament one of these days.
So what fights on this card are in the tournament or are any?
We'll get to those eventually.
Okay.
The last 2 or 3, but we move on to our next one. Ray Cooper, Poro Ray Cooper III against Mukamed Burkamov.
Okay, now that you've said that name, I do remember him having some fights in the PFL. Ray Cooper, he was like hot in the PFL for a while, and then he got knocked out by Magomed Karamov. Like what was it, last year or 2 years ago? And ever since then, he's kind of been on a steady decline. But I think he's still dangerous. I don't know who this Burkamov is guy. Really, I'm not familiar with his work.
Magomed but yeah, I think he's gonna still kill Ray Cooper because Ray Cooper's getting beaten against everybody, including Derek Brunson at some point, right? Didn't he?
I don't know. Yeah, wait, that's right. Derek Brunson is signed with the PFL. When the fuck is he gonna fight?
I have no idea. He'll probably just come out as a special attraction every once in a while. I unbanned Tyrone, by the way. He's timed out for 10 seconds. So 5, 4.
Will we ever see a one-night tournament in MMA like kickboxing? So Ryzen has done one-night tournaments. Wasn't that like part of their thing? And then Pride obviously did one-night tournaments. They happen all the time on the regional level. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that I would say that in MMA, suffering an injury is a lot more likely in a one-night tournament. Yeah. So, hence why, UFC switched to doing, things differently, and then actually having weight classes and stuff. But I would love to see a one-night tournament in a high-level MMA.
For sure. But so far, I think they've actually got a pretty solid undercard that if they utilize pretty well, I think they could definitely be mainstays like on the main cards. I mean, that's how undercard guys are supposed to work, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we move on to who I got as my lock for the night. We got good old Shamil Musayev against Murad Ramazanov.
Yeah, so Ramazanov is the guy who kneed Roberto Soldic in the dick in his one debut. Mm-hmm. And then he never, I think he may have had one more fight with them, but then they just kicked him out of one. So he's in the PFL doing PFL things. I don't know. I don't think he's that bad of a fighter, but you got Shamil in this one.
Yeah, and look at how fucking ridiculous.
He's already beat this guy. What the fuck? That was the last hook in round 2. Wait a second.
Oh god. This promotion makes so much sense with its match.
What the fuck?
I'm doing the same fucking road to UFC rule. Well, he beat him the last time. He'll do it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. I'll second that.
Listen, I got no fucking choice. Okay.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. When an opportunity is presented right in front of you, you eat the fucking biscuit. Okay. So then we got our third fight, our feature fight for the gatherings. Oh, that's part of the tournament. That now it actually makes sense why it's formatted that way because they have like similar point levels. Poor fucking Murad Ramazanov. I've got a lot of confidence going into these, brother.
Well, I don't understand though, because isn't their championships gonna be really soon?
Yeah.
So are they just starting the tournament now? When?
They're having semifinals. Let me look at the poster.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so behind in PFL.
So this is a welterweight semifinal fight.
Okay.
So they're already close to the finals. And
that's badass.
These two are badass fighters. See, what would happen if Justin Gaethje got closed out cold by Max Holloway and then they rematched afterwards?
So Braga versus Timur Khizriev is a pretty interesting fight to me. I think it's pretty strange that they're giving Gabriel Braga this high of a step up in competition. But he looked amazing in his last fight after what happened. Was it his dad or his coach that died?
Yeah.
But Timur Khizriev, this dude, he's a decision merchant. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of makes me nervous. Braga's the finisher. Timur Khizriev, the decision guy. I don't really have a pulse on this fight, but I'm just gonna go with Timur tentatively, just by decision. But what about you?
Yeah, I got him by decision as well. I feel like Gabriel Braga, he got sort of a lucky shake with that arm injury to Bubba Jenkins, but he was kicking his ass for most of the fight. And then Justin Gonzalez is not Timur Khizriev, and he lost to Jesus Pinedo. And I get it. He was the finalist. He did win the $1 million, but, split decision with Chris Wade and then beating an old Marlon Moraes. I don't think that counts for much. And I feel like Khizriev just going to do what he's going to do. If you can't stop the grappling, you're not going to win. So,
right.
And what makes me so much more pissed about Timur is that he looks like fucking Zabit Magomed Sharikov And he fights
Sharapov.
like anything but Zabit. So that fucking pisses me off, dude. And then we got another welterweight semifinal fight between Magomed Umalatov and Neiman Gracie. Let's dive deep into this one, shall we?
Well, Neiman Gracie, unfortunately, he's like a Gracie that's actually got some hands. But Don Madge, that's a fantastic win. I just don't know, man. This guy was never that good in Bellator. Put on some good fights, though. Umatalov is a guy that I've watched his fights. I just can't fucking remember. Who did he beat last?
He beat
Brennan Ward. That's right. He fucking subbed Brennan Ward. I don't know, dude. I don't know if he's going to sub Neiman Gracie, but I definitely will pick him to win by decision.
Yeah. I've had so many PFL shows where I've made full card predictions, and I'm just like, oh, I'll just pick all the Dagestanis.
Yeah, it's fair.
I've won those like fucking 6 times in a row. So
PFL is mid. Denial says PFL is mid in all aspects, from fighters to booking to people who run it. Ray Sefo and the commentary team is the only thing I respect about the PFL. And fuck that. I think that the commentary team is just fine, except for Randy Couture. He sounds like a mumbling old man at this point. And the other thing that I don't like about the PFL is John McCarthy. They cut to him once in a while in a room closet, and he's literally on a screen that is exactly the same size as the one that I'm on right now. And he's just there to like tell people about like the rules and like judging. And it's like, dude, just have him on the broadcast. Like, have him there on the broadcast and just cut to him in the fucking place. Why is he on a tiny screen? Oh, let's cut to John McCarthy really quick. It's like, no, fucking have him there. But
and that dude, he's MMA ref royalty, dude. He was the first referee in the first. Have him on the fucking commentaries.
I am really happy though that Josh Thompson is no longer on the broadcast. Now Josh Thompson's not the worst guy to have on a broadcast, but he just talks about irrelevant shit, and he goes on and on and on about nothing. That girl that he used to be on the desk with, Amanda Garrett, she's actually fantastic. They should have brought her back, but instead they got John McCarthy in a broom closet on a tiny screen. So yeah, that's very confusing. PFL does confuse the shit out of me, and I agree with you, Denial.
Well, they don't want to get copyright struck for having their own Megan O'Leary.
he says, thank you. Why is he allowed to stream in his house? Probably not even wearing pants in his walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Dude, fantastic.
It would be like fucking the pandemic when they were having interviews, and then the fucking 4-year-old comes. He's like, get out of here, you little bastard.
Denial says Josh Thompson beat Nate Diaz, in case you haven't heard him say it a million times.
Oh my god.
Randy Couture could get off the couch tomorrow and choke out Izzy, probably in a bar setting, or maybe if they're talking about a debate on women shaving their private parts. But that's a discussion for another day. And then, the main event of this card is Brendan Loughnane versus Kai Kamaka III, who has looked pretty damn good as of late. I don't think that he's on the level of Brendan Loughnane. So yeah, I'm picking Loughnane all day, and you could say Loughnane is a lock main.
Well, I picked Brendan Loughnane as a lock on the one fucking fight that he lost. So I've had mixed feelings about him, but then I picked him as I locked the second time, and then
but Pedro Carvalho sucks. He was never good in Bellator. And Justin Gonzalez was also a Bellator featherweight who never really got over the hump, but was a pretty decent prospect. So seeing him KO him is a pretty good achievement, I guess. But yeah, just lower level fighters, guys that I think there aren't on his level. Matua says, "Oh shit, is this live?" Fuck yeah.
There was a weird moment when he beat Justin Gonzalez, but it was due to a cut. And I think before that, it was actually a pretty back and forth fight. And I think he still looks really good. I think Loughnane is still very technical. But if you're going to bet on an underdog, I can understand it being Kai Kamaka. He's only a moderate underdog, plus 260. And he's just looked solid against guys who
I just fade Hawaiians.
Yeah.
Unless his name is Max Holloway.
Yeah, exactly. The one Hawaii. Hey, shout out to a nonprofit, baby. It was a slip. But yeah, I like the main 4 fights. So if you want to tune into PFL, I tune in when it's in its second or third hour just for these fights. But And maybe a little bit of Tyler Diamond. Look at some Tyler Diamond runbacks, playbacks as well. But with that being said, there's PFL out of the way. We're here for the main event. Idaho Skatesman and Hank the Tank's predictions for the entire card of UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Borralho. And I'll say this, guys, you better stay here because every other big MMA YouTuber, I'm telling you, they have not made a video covering the most recent fights that have been added to this card. It's been like 3 fucking fights added within the last couple days. And there are a bunch of bangers too, and they're close fights. So you want to listen to some picks, listen to Idaho Skatesman.
Matuis says the Fighting Hawaiian minus 2 points, not unique enough. I like your nickname rating system. Keep it up. And Sniff says Tyler Diamond versus Blood Diamond. Let's go. Yeah,
Tyler'd fucking kill him. He would fucking
Tyler's make fights. Josh was. Oh, are we still talking about fucking Nate Diaz and fucking Josh Thompson?
Well, you know, he beat Nate Diaz that one time. But anyway, we move on to Idaho Skatesman pick for the first fight on this card. Wang versus Victoria Leonardo. Who you got for this one, old pal?
Yeah, I'm picking Wang. Though I'm not really like high on random Chinese fighters' UFC debuts. I believe she won the female version of the Road to UFC tournament, so shout out to her. It's a tough tournament to get through, but I just don't I don't know if none of those guys have really made noise in the UFC unless your name is Tetsuro Taira. Am I correct? He came in through that? Yeah. Yes, Victoria Leonardo, a one-time...
Ray Saruya as well, who's been looking...
I mean, who even knows who that is?
Also, Victoria... the great and very exciting Rinya Nakamura, the incredible power puncher with one-punch power.
Leonardo is a one-time winner of a contract on the Contender Series, and then she just hasn't done anything. Also, she's 30-something? And actually, Cong Wang, funny enough, is 30-something. And we're not looking, by the way, the UFC is not looking for 30-something-year-old prospects, but here we go.
We'll still put them on our tournaments anyway, and we'll have the one-way ticket into the UFC, but we still hate you. We're ages.
So, yeah, it's more of just a fade on the Leonardo side, but I'm really not that confident in this pick, to say the truth.
Let's see who I got for this shebang. I have Wang as well by round 2 KO. I got her by finish. I know a female fighter in the UFC getting a predicted KO not named Amanda Nunes or Zhongwei Li. Sounds crazy, no matter how you slice it. But this Chinese kickboxer, Wang, is really freaking good. In her first documented fight at the professional level, and I told Idaho Skatesman about this before he went live, she beat Valentina Shevchenko on short notice, okay? King Kong ain't got shit on Chong. And the Wangs have moved on from Andy, the tough contestant, and produced a kid that can actually get the job fucking done. Wee! And she's going to be a fucking fortune cookie, and you'll be careful when she crumbles.
Wow, that's incredibly racist, but all right.
Andy Wang said it himself, okay? I'm paraphrasing here. It's bad when I do it, but not when he does. She has power and technique on the feet, and has either knocked out or subbed her opponents with relative ease so far in her career. I believe she beat her last opponent by round 1 sub. Her hype's at the point where commentators for Road to the UFC are saying that she should be ranked at women's flyweight pronto. So I'm thinking it's sort of inevitable that she destroys a really amateurish flyweight in Victoria Leonardo, who's been finished brutally by just about every notable female flyweight you can think of. Even the ones who really shouldn't be getting knockouts, like Aaron Field, Manon Fiorot actually got a KO in her career.
Nah, those are fantastic fighters, dude. Come on.
Melissa Gatto.
Yeah, that's a bad KO loss to have.
And Natalia Silva, who now looks like she can't stumble a woman to save her fucking life. The crazy thing is that Wang calls herself the Joker, based nickname, by the way. But Leonardo's going to be the only joke when non-Andy Wang runs through her and makes his fight look easy. She'll probably go for a submission early, but then the sheer difference in quality of striking between them will come through halfway into the fight, and Shang's getting a round 2 KO. Have that spot in the women's flyweight ranking ready for her. So I got a lot more interest in her future, but she's a fucking women's flyweight, so who knows what the fuck's gonna.
I think that you're just into Asian women. I think is what I've been finding out through this podcast.
That's true. Yeah. I got a secret fetish. I'll be honest with you.
Well, it's not secret anymore. But yeah, Asians are hot. What are you gonna do?
Yes, sir. Anyway, our second fight for prelims, we got Josiane Nunes, totally not Amanda Nunes in disguise, against Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Idaho Skatesman has Nunes by decision.
Yeah, I'm picking Nunes by decision. She's really scrappy, pretty tiny women's bantamweight, but just super scrappy. I think that I don't know, man. She's always in there, and she always makes it a fun fight, for as fun as women's bantamweight can be. And really, I'm just picking her because I don't know shit about her opponent.
Yeah. I am also going to be picking Nunes by decision, same as you. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah, we skipped over a fight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Because okay, for the record, I'm going to steal all of Hank the Tank's picks for the tough fights. So I'm just waiting for him to tell us what's going to happen in those fights. The fight below is, what the hell was that guy's name? Zygimantas Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher. Tell us about that one.
Well, I'll get to that, but first, let me go.
Got it.
Totally exhilarating women's bantamweight fight.
Oh,
Josiane looks like man. She looks more like Jay. Yikes, dude. That's the JL. Yikes for that comment.
What's up? I haven't seen Tour in here before. He says my pick, all inbred looking fighters. Hey, you know what? They got that inbred strength. So fantastic.
And they got it from milk. They had their calcium. It's not from inbreeding. But anyway.
He says, I'm picking Nate Diaz's little homie. I mean, Josiane, dude.
Yeah, she came from the mean.
This chat is ridiculous. I love it.
So I got Nunes by decision, no Amanda. Josiane looks like the more aggressive fighter of the two of them, both visually in regards to testosterone and the two women's approaches to fighting. Josiane's last name is Nunes. That's a big boost. And
yeah, so it's like half of Brazil.
Yes, exactly. And I really wish that her name was Oliveira. I'd have more confidence in her. But
yeah, that's fair.
And she actually throws shots with the intention of hurting her opponent.
Yes.
Even if it's less technical or precise. Those overhands will make an impact when they land. Plus, she's tough as nails and has survived more stiff opposition. No diddy. Such as Chelsea Chandler, who exploited her weakness with the takedowns. Jacqueline Cavalcanti, meanwhile, doesn't really have any grappling in her game. And in terms of the striking, is very tentative and treats each fight like essentially a sparring match, hoping to outpoint her opponent in a as boring a fight as she can muster. Nunes is a crazy woman, so that's not going to work. And Josiane Nunes is running over Cavalcanti like a cavalcade with endless pressure. I know, very clever.
Wow, that was just shoehorned in there.
I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and I break down in tears. With endless pressure, along with the rest of the video, making the difference and ensuring she wins at the very least 2 out of the 3 rounds for the unanimous decision victory. I got to look at these fucking Wang comments.
Jacqueline Cavalcanti, I just watched Commando, by the way, and she kind of looks like the chick that co-stars in Commando.
Wow. Hey, my buddy, my man, give me 5, give me fist bump.
Oh, you're looking at the Wang comments? Yeah, I mean, that was a while ago. But I want to say what's up to Vulcan really quick. What's up, bro? Good to see you in here.
I'm riding Wang too. That's true. I'm high on Wang. Robust Wang.
That's so gay. All right. Tell us about this tough fight that nobody's heard of.
All right, fine. Whatever. Let's move on. Down we go to our first fight between 2 tough competitors. We got Zygimantas Ramaska against Nathan Fletcher. I got Nathan Fletcher by round 2 submission. This is actually a tough fight to predict. Ramaska's tough as a dog, no Izzy, and was able to
no Izzy?
Yeah. And was able he's tough as a dog. Wow. I know from my time with Philly. She survived a lot. And was able to stay alive and win his fight with Bekzad Usmanov through the pure durability and endless pace of his striking, scoring good head kicks and punches in that fight, which resulted in Nathan Fletcher's first loss on the regional scene the exact same way. However, it's also true that Ramaska got dropped 3 times in that fight and was taken down on occasion. That's where I think Fletcher's going to win this fight. Nathan was somehow able to survive the overwhelming grappling and striking pressure of Con Ofley, who we're going to see later on in this card. who then dusted grappler Rody Rhodes within a round in his semifinals wins.
Tough, dude. How do you even know all this shit about Tough, dude?
Because
Have you been watching every episode of Tough?
Yes, I have fucking a Tough counter with City Life Project. Do you not see the counter system with Isha?
You really have no life, do you, Hank?
I have partially life, semi-life. I got a half-life, okay? I love that game.
It's a good game.
I highly rate Ulfley. So Fletcher making it through 2 rounds with him and even making it arguable whether their fight warranted a 3rd round makes me think this kid is usually way better than that Tough fight made him out to be. Seems like Ulfley's just a tough matchup for anybody, any rookie bantamweight. He even took the back of the wrestler at one point, which tells me that he's going to take down Ramaska even more easily if things get tough for him in the striking. Tough. Also, Ramaska still had a fracture on his face the last time we saw him on Tough. So he might be more prone to getting hurt on the feet, regardless of Fletcher's sting in his shots, or should I say lack of it.
Can you tell us why this matchup is being made?
It's being made because I think Paddy Pimblett, he asked a good old favor from Dana to this.
Because both these guys are losers on Tough, but they're somehow fighting on the card for a contract.
This Nathan Fletcher's a scouser, mate. He doesn't get knocked out, you know. So Dana was like, I love everything about this kid. I loved his last fight. And also with Zygimantas Ramaska, he had what you could actually argue was like a fight of the year contender against Usman.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah. So they had an amazing back and forth fight. He also got the fight canceled due to having that facial injury and not being able to weigh in properly. So I think Dana's rewarding him for that one great fight and how he sort of got screwed.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And then Nathan Fletcher was also looking pretty good in his fight. So it just makes sense. And also Paddy Pimblett probably asked him for a favor. But anyway, I think that Ramaska is going to be more prone to getting hurt on the feet. I think Fletcher is solid enough on the feet to make the stand-up battle with Ramaska competitive and give him enough time to get Ramaska down and sink in the rear naked choke in round 2. But both these guys are fucking beasts with no quit. I honestly think this could go either way, along with a lot of these fights.
Well, sweet. Hopefully it's a good fight.
Yeah, hopefully. Like Jubilee. But then we move on to our next fight. Let me see if these line up as well. Yes, they do. Viacheslav Borshchev versus James Llontop. Who you got in this one?
I'm going Viacheslav Borshchev. He's kind of been not looking so hot lately, but that's against guys that can grapple. I think that Llontop is going to have a striking battle with him. The only thing that worries me is Viacheslav is kind of just like a bruiser. Slava Claus. Dude's just kind of like a bruiser. He just goes in there. Fantastic kickboxing guy. But, there is a concern, that he is the kickboxing coach at Team Alpha Male. I fear that he is working too much on the grappling and possibly regressing in his kickboxing abilities. He is 32, so he's not like, on the decline or wash. He's in the prime of his career, but I think that Viacheslav has one good performance left in him. So give me Viacheslav Borshchev. Are these my picks?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna pick him by knockout, and I think that a late.
Oh, never mind. There it is. The way. There is.
Literally, exactly. I think a quick knockout could happen, but I'm predicting more like a late one. But really, the round 3 knockout is always just a good cop out if you don't know what round the knockout will occur in. So yeah, give me Viacheslav.
Yeah, well, man, I guess I should have pronounced the names whenever Skatesman had it on the tip of his tongue. But
is Viacheslav Borshchev not how you say his name?
It sounds pretty good to me, but this man's from mother country.
Cooper dropped him. Yeah, I know. I know. That's the only thing. It's like, dude, Chase Hooper dropped him, but I think Chase Hooper's coming into his own.
Yeah,
he did look fantastic against Viacheslav. So, this could be a dangerous pick, but I'm still going with him to get the knockout in the later rounds.
Yeah, I honestly think that fucking Chase Hooper is the protagonist, like Drickus 2+E Trust. Man's the center of his own story. Botched. But then we got my pick, and I also have Viacheslav. Oh God, that was even worse. Viacheslav Borshchev by decision. So finally, Skatesman and I disagree. You better watch out.
We're still in agreement on who's gonna win.
Yeah. But you know, it's small parameters. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout on Saturday night. Slava Claus is coming to brawl. That's right. Jolly old Saint Viacheslav is once again having a career comeback against James Llontop, who has not looked that great in the UFC so far, to say the least. He had a close decision win against Malik Lewis, who's looked like a chump ever since the Contender Series, as Toby Maguire would say. But and then got submitted by the legendary Up Next fighting vet Chris Padilla. What a fucking legend Chris Padilla.
And that was the short notice replacement, right? For Llontop. He was a huge favorite, and he got subbed by a random dude.
Yeah, exactly. Up Next fighting. One of the great promotions. Some say it's on the rise. I funded it. What a frightening and unassailable challenge Slava Claus has in front of him. But seriously, this guy's a fucking scrub. And on the feet, I see Slava Claus being way better in the exchanges than this twerp. I get there's a big difference in age here, but there's also a big gap in experience and accumulated striking ability. Just ask Ronald Reagan. Borshchev has had kickboxing fights close to the triple digits and made it a close fight with Nazim Sadikov, who is a quick and powerful striker. I know he got dropped by Chase Hooper, but Chase Hooper's been on a freaking roll as of late. And do I expect Llontop to be on the same level right now as Chase after such an embarrassing loss the last time around? Hell no! His nickname's Goku, but the only scream he's letting out is one of agony, Joseph Benavidez style, after Slava Claus whoops his ass for 15 minutes, or even knocks him right out. I'm leaning toward decision, though, as finishes from Slava Claus are rare, but Borshchev is just better everywhere, so he should have this in the bag, like the sack of toys in his sleigh come September 25th. Trust! This man's fucking jolly, like Santa.
Sniff asked, did you guys almost go with Skank instead of SkateTank? Yeah, we did. We considered it, but we figured that it wouldn't make any sense. And honestly, SkateTank doesn't make any sense either, but we're rolling with it.
Hey, got us 1,000 subscribers. I'll fucking take it, dude. Also, Sniff was not in the writing room with us during that process. And honest, I wish you were, Sniff. And he's just found some random way into our fucking private text conversations instead of coming through an intellectual debate between me and a gun nut. But I'll take it, dude. I'll take it. We move on to Skatesman's next prediction. Wait. Hold on. Yes, it is our next fight. We got Zach Reese versus Jose Medina.
So Zach Reese is like pretty bad, but he's a finisher, you know, and got some power. Now, knocking out Julian Marquez is not the most impressive win you could possibly have. But I don't know, man. I think that this Zach Reese guy, he lost to somebody who was really terrible. But I don't know, man. I think that this Medina guy is not very good either. So two pretty bad fighters. I think that Zach Reese will prevail. He's a young guy. I think he's going to learn, be improving a lot. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Matuit. He had it on deck. He lost to Cody Brundage. So it's like, man. And he got knocked out by him nonetheless. So I don't know, dude.
To be fair, it was a fluke slam.
That's why I feel like if this fight goes into the later rounds, I think Zach Reese will start to fall apart. But I got him by a first round knockout.
And I got Zach Reese by round 1 KO, just the same as you, Skatesman. The man who single-handedly broke the new gloves curse. The man who cheated out of a submission win by the unfair RNG of Cody Brundage. And the man who is 2-1 in the UFC. I know, incredible record. Zachary's Pizza. Let's give him a warm standing ovation. Oh, wait, it's Zach Reese. Sorry. He's taking on a total scrub named Jose Medina, whose nickname is Chicho, but has the actual fight ability of Cheech and Chong in that cage. He's completely spaced out in there, man. He got destroyed almost everywhere by, say that name 5 times fast, Magomed Gaziasulov.
Wow.
And offered no offensive striking or grappling in response. Not a moment of success. He's also gone to split decisions against guys having practically even records, gotten beat by guys with losing records, and is being called up to take on this phenom, Zachary Reese, on short notice. A deadly combination! Let me show you something. I'm almost embarrassed as a UFC fan that this guy is even in the promotion having a fight at all. And he'd be tough as a Bolivian. And Dana's last-ditch effort to get a little more out of Latin America's market, he's going to look like shit in there against Zachary, who's going to live up to his moniker as the Savage by cutting this guy into Reese's pieces and chowing down on his body. No Dana. Live on ESPN and
Wow.
Fight. Oh, the humanity. He's an animal in there, Zach Reese. Truly.
The Hindenburg has gone down.
Yeah.
We're here at the premiere of King Kong.
I'm Don Rather.
All right, next one.
All right. Next up, we got Dennis the Buzukja against Francis Marshall. Isn't this just a masterpiece of a card, Skatesman? Not just
No, it's a terrible card, and I'm actually really depressed that I have to break it down right now. So Dennis Buzukja is one of those guys at started a Longo MMA, and I actually confused him with Nazim Sadikov at one point and said Sadikov was kind of not looking very good as of late. It was actually Dennis Buzukja I was referring to. Has a really fucking cool name, right? Yeah, his name is Dennis Buzukja. Like, what? Yeah, sure. I think that I don't know, dude. Is Serra-Longo even a good gym anymore?
It's moderately all right. It's
serviceable, right?
Yeah, it's still respectable.
It's kind of like, Nova União. And I think this is a larger conversation about MMA gyms as a whole. Like, ATT and AKA able to stay on top for so long because they're just so massive. So many fighters are in those gyms. And I think Serra-Longo, it's a smaller gym relatively. And they kind of get their guys a lot of fights against cans. To build them up, which is what you should do. But I feel like maybe the process is too dragged out. Serra-Longo is a legendary gym, so their guys get in the UFC quickly. I think that Dennis Buzukja is a product of that style of matchmaking and the reason why he hasn't looked very good. Now, on the other side, you have Francis Marshall, who got in on the Contender Series. I believe he got a finish in the Contender Series. I could be wrong. But he looked pretty good either way in his Contender Series fight. Right. So heading into the UFC, you thought maybe, he would be like a finisher. He's had some losses in the UFC. I'm still going to ride with Buzukja. I think, the improvement, the training partners, all the classic things you could list by having a good gym, like a reputable gym, established gym like Serra-Longo behind you. But I'm really just not sure, man. And that's why I got him by decision. I'm hoping that he can fix some of the holes in his game and get it done. I mean, he is a pretty fast guy, but I think the fight IQ is where he's lacking a lot. And unfortunately for Francis Marshall, he doesn't have much of it either.
Yeah, and he got a finish recently, so he's looking a little improved as of late against a good prospect. I also have Buzukja, but I have a tiny bit more faith in him to score the round 3 knockout. The Buzukjas landing another hit on his target. And that overseas enemy is Francis Marshall, you see. What we have here is failure to communicate. The guys looked like a chump in his last couple fights. See a chump? Losing to William Gomez in a split decision where absolutely nothing happened in the cage between the two of them. And then getting his head driven through the mat by Isaac Dolgarian within a round. The guy calls himself Fire, but he just doesn't bring it.
Oh, yeah, he's a fire marshal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Fire Marshal Bill Burns. Good old In Living Color. But Dennis the Buzukja, meanwhile, went off on Connor Matthews and systematically broke him down for the clean round 3 KO. And I feel like it's going to be the same story with his next fight due to Marshall being just as unproven as Matthews and just as tentative, enough to be dominated as well as finished by a pro who has a good gym in Longo and Weidman to prep them well against a relatively unremarkable opponent. Dennis is going to win this fight in style and show that he can be the great that he claims to be. But also, it's nice to see you, Kobe Wiggle. This guy, I love everything about this kid. He's going to be like Patty Pimblett. He's a huge hype train. And let me go, Dennis Buzukja. I had
oh my gosh.
He was one of my favorite soldiers. This guy is an American hero. Even though he's from fucking Eastern Europe. What a guy. What a patriot.
What a mensch.
What a bench! I'm gonna have him on the when I.
What is it called? What is Ariel's show called now?
It's called the Ariel Helwani Show.
Is
It's
it?
all about me, the greatest MMA.
Is it really called that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Like it's the fucking Scooby Doo show.
It's not. Wait, it's not about MMA. It's just about Ariel.
Yeah, with Scrappy Doo too. New York Rick.
Now, you know what's something interesting about that announcement that he's going to Yahoo Sports? It's like,
tell us, New York Skate.
well, no, but it's like, why? Like, why is Yahoo? Like, you see all these MMA media companies just like firing people left and right and just literally outright going away. I mean, Bloody Elbow literally just fired everybody and went away. They have like 3 writers now, and they're just doing like really clickbaity, general news articles.
Well, that's good for you, for sure.
And Bloody Elbow was one of the best, like, underground sources of MMA news. So it's just interesting that Yahoo would all of a sudden decide to get into this space and pay a guy like Ariel. I'm guessing he gets top dollar. I see the benefit for Ariel, but it's like, what are they like hoping to get out of having that show?
Interviews, clicks on TikTok, YouTube Shorts. It's the future, New York Rick.
All right.
I don't know. I guess they're basically Ariel said in his little fucking crappy selfie vid that he did, where, by the way, his face was like this close to the fucking camera. I swear he was staring into my fucking soul, and his nose at one point, I felt like a snot bubble hit me because it was just so close. The nose. But he said that Yahoo Sports was completely like redesigning itself, and they're so innovative, and they're not the Yahoo of old, you guys. They're really trying. And so I guess he's trying to get behind like a sports movement.
Yeah.
Hey, who's better than the greatest MMA journalist of all time, according to himself? I
mean, I don't think that that's wrong. Ariel's definitely like the most recognizable person, in MMA journalism. So yeah, it's
recognizable.
But I don't know. I mean, they got guys like Kevin Iole, a fucking dinosaur, asking the most general questions of Dana White in press conferences. So
yeah, exactly. Not much.
Something big is coming, and we're all in trouble. Well, let's just hope that it's a asteroid and we all just go away.
Something we can look forward to. Okay, I see Skatesman's taking the George Carlin approach. I agree with it. But speaking of what we're looking forward to on this card, we got Edmen Golden Boy Shahbazyan against the GOAT. GM3 Gerald Meerschaert. Meerschaert his pants. Who you got for this one? This exciting.
Is this my pick? Sorry. Where I'm fucking on the road, I can't present my own screen. So
it is your pick. It is your
all
pick.
Right, yeah. So I'm not a big a hater as GM3 as basically everybody else is. I like GM3, man. I like GM3. He unfortunately got knocked out with the very first punch that Khamzat Chimaev threw. And ever since then, we kind of just thought dude was a can. But you know what, man? He always surprises us. He has the most submissions in the middleweight division, which is like just a shocking stat. Dude's getting older. Shahbazyan, on the other hand, got thrown to the wolves early, and he was also a part of what is that fucking guy? Head movement.
Sure.
What is his name? That coach, Ronda Rousey's coach.
Fucking what is his name?
Oh my gosh, I'm fucking blanking on his fucking name right now, dude. The Armenian guy who was Ronda Rousey's coach. Oh my gosh, this is gonna bother me. Somebody chat, help me out with that guy's name.
Edmen Tarverdian.
Tarverdian, yes, that's right.
Tarverdian.
So he was training with Edmen, and like Ronda was like bigging up this dude. So he got thrown to the wolves really fast. And I remember Derek Brunson beat the absolute hell out of poor old Edmen Shahbazyan. And then he kind of got out of that gym, and he's looked much better ever since. I think that was probably the smartest move he could have made for his career. Looked much better since. There's still questions about his gas tank.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm going to pick him in the first round to get it done. I think that's his best chance of getting GM3 out of there. A guy who's older and what's that?
Same thing with Zachary Reese. You got to pick him out of there.
Yeah. But GM3, a guy who's getting older, just like slow starter for that reason. I think that GM3 has a chance to get this one done by some sneaky submission late in the fight.
Little stat for GM3 sub 3, the classic
Wow, that's insane. I mean, really, because that's how this guy wins.
Exactly.
By submission. Plus 3,000. I mean, that might not be the worst thing to throw a little bit of money on, not your whole life savings, Sniff.
We don't make betting recommendations. We
yeah,
don't.
Yeah. I think that's a good fight to throw a sprinkle of some money on. But yeah, I think Edmen Shahbazyan round 1 KO or maybe decision. But yeah, I'm not counting GM3 out completely, especially going into the later rounds.
Yeah. But still, Idaho Skatesman is a very smart man because who have I got but Edmen Shahbazyan by first round knockout, just like Skatesman. This is like watching mom and dad fight for me. Both these guys
That's really weird.
I know. Yeah. Again, the conspiracy theories about Hank the Tank's private activities continue to pile up. Okay. All right, you'll be my wife and you'll be my lover, okay? And then both of you act it out, and I'll just sit and I'll watch, okay? Anyway, if you know fucking what the fuck's the name of that fucking show? The Fall of the House of Usher, then you know what I'm talking about. Both these guys are vets in the middleweight division who can never be fully counted out against their opponents, and through grit, determination, and often miraculous luck, somehow find a way to eke out wins every once in a blue moon. They're sort of two sides of the same coin. So good job putting this fight together, matchmakers, but also, damn you, matchmakers! Now one of these guys has to lose, which fucking sucks in my hardcore fan book. As much as I'd love to pick the GOAT, GM3, to get it done once again and further secure his legacy as the best of us, truly. I have to face the reality that this man's getting chinned by Shahbazyan. I mean, he's getting chinned by Brian Barberena, for fuck's sake. Edmen's going to drop him at some point.
No, wait, did he lose to Brian Barberena?
No, but he got fucking dropped.
Yeah, but he submitted him.
Yes, he submitted him, but I'm saying he got chinned for a second. Oh,
okay. Yeah, sort of like Steve Erceg did last week.
Yeah, but GM3 survived, so that's why he's the GOAT. He's my GOAT. GM3's the GOAT. But Edmen's going to drop him at some point. And on top of that, follow up for the TKO finish, like Kai Kara France, trust. If he can get it against an in his prime AJ Dobson, he'll get it against 36-year-old GM3.
Yeah, and AJ Dobson is a similar game to Gerald, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. They both got beards. They're both white, and they both get it done in round 3. I mean, they're very similar, you know.
AJ Dobson is not white. And he does not have a beard. But all right.
I want Meerschaert to win. I'm going to get canceled for that one. I want Meerschaert to win real bad. And he actually looked really slick in the grappling against Barberena. But it's middleweight Barberena. And though Edmen has very little takedown defense as well, it's enough to stay on the feet long enough to crack the GOAT and inconceivably put him out.
Why are you calling him the GOAT? I do not get it.
Because everybody knows that GM3 is the fucking GOAT, dude. It's an inside joke. Just keep up with it, goddamn.
All right, well, let's move on to the next fight.
And I'm thinking that that's in the first round. Stay golden, boy. Stay golden, like the outsider said. But we move on to the next fight, which is actually. Let me check to see if this is actually. Yes, it is. So we got this fucking card and its short notice replacements are ruining my life. Michael Morales versus Neil Magny. Seems like a pretty easy fight to pick. Who you got for this one, Skatesman?
Yeah, I'm going Michael Morales decision, but so Michael Morales, I always confuse him with Nicholas Mota, who is worse than him. But Morales is like a huge welterweight, I would say. Going up against the old school vet Neil Magny, the prospect killer. Easy to count him out in this fight, but also not because of what he did to Mike Malott in the third round. After losing an entire fight to Mike Malott in Canada on home soil for Mike Malott, he just somehow pulls out a TKO out of nowhere. This is what Neil Magny is known for, crushing prospects' hopes and dreams. Neil Magny's a guy who isn't particularly exceptional at anything in MMA. Not great on the mic, just NPC style guy, but he gets wins, man. He gets wins and he beats prospects. I just think that Nicholas Mota's run is too impressive to count him out in this fight. I think that he gets it done just by being the younger up and coming guy. Unlike Mike Malott, I think that he's got more stand-up ability, and I think that that's where he'll win the majority of this fight. I would be really shocked if Michael Morales, not shocked, but very surprised if he finishes Neil Magny. Hence why I'm going with the decision.
Yeah.
I think 29-28, he'll lose one round to Magny, but ultimately I think he gets it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good pick to make. But the Golden Boy -4 points for non-creativity. I disagree, Matua Sablin, because his nickname takes after the Golden God. My rage is untethered and it knows no bounds.
I love that show. I love it. It's always funny.
God, like a schmuck at school. Oh, they'll pay. They'll pay the ultimate price.
Ursek should feel like a total loser for getting beat by a midget iRobot. Not only that, he should feel like a total loser for having an entire interview where he talked about how MMA boxing is terrible, and he's always, working on his, and fighters just don't move their head enough, and they don't have good enough foot placement, and then he literally doesn't move his head at all, gets caught with his right hand down, and gets chinned by old Kai Kara France.
Yeah.
And I just keep bringing it up because I know it's a soft spot for Hank the Tank. Eventually it'll wear off. So sorry, buddy.
I'm going to take the Donald Trump approach. I think it was AI. I think they recreated that interview. I don't think it's real, to be honest. Ursek would never say something like that. Anyway, I propose Edmen Shahbazyan.
Oh, I love that.
It's hard to count out the Haitian sensation. I agree, Matua Sablin, but not this time. Neil Magny's greatest average dude of all time. Yes, sir. And just like every average dude, he's getting fucking victimized by Ian Gary in the press conference and having to deal with fucking legal issues because that little cunt, as everybody deals with. Him knocking out Lombard was a classic. Do you remember that, Skatesman, when he knocked out Hector Lombard?
Who?
Magny or Michael Morales? I have no fucking idea.
All right, Magny probably. No, I don't.
Oh, Vulcan is back. How safe is the Nunes Cavalcanti? What the fuck? What does that stand for?
Fight to go to decision.
Very, very much. I think it's a very good prop because Nunes got her ass beat in Brazil and still found a way to go to decision. So I think she's tough as nails. I don't think that has a finish. Also, I don't think she has the power to do it either. Having a representative from Haiti is important.
Haiti, jeez, come on.
Haiti, yes. Neil Magny did. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, my prediction might as well not have even changed the screen. I have Michael Morales by decision. I'm sorry. I got to fade Neil Magny once again here against Michael Morales. This guy's a cut above Mike Malott in terms of technical ability, wrestling, and gas tank. And he's younger than Magny's last Canadian Hope opponent by almost a decade. So he should have even more of an advantage against the nearly 40-year-old who can't check leg kicks to save his life. Guru's right about that. The Haitian's not going to be looking sensational when he gets taken down 6 times by Morales in this fight, as he's done with his last 2 opponents. And on the feet, he might just be overwhelmed also, making Morales better than Magny at this stage of his career just about everywhere. As much as Magny wants to give him a spanking, like an out-of-line kid, once again, it's not happening. And if anything, Morales is going to punish him as long as this thing lasts, because despite all his talent, he can't for the life of him finish anyone as of late. I'm actually rooting for Magny to once again do his job and gatekeep Morales into submission, given his boring track record as of late. But the skill gap is making sure that doesn't happen this time around. Michael's second cousin, Miles Morales, is going to have a lot to be happy about once he watches this one back after he's done saving his dad in the Spider-Verse. What's up, Ninja?
No, Matua says Hank be knowing a whole lot at the same time. Don't know shit.
Well,
wait.
My dad has a nickname for me as the absent-minded professor because I know my shit.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've held that nickname forever, and I fucking hate him for it. Anyway.
Wait. So, am I confusing Michael Morales with Nicholas Motta once again? So, is Nicholas Motta like a finisher, and Michael Morales isn't?
Yes, Nicholas Motta is the finisher.
All right, well, I don't fucking know anything. I'm just like Hank the Tank, guys. I don't know shit.
Yeah, well, that's good. At least we're on even playing field. Now we move on to the next fight that Idaho Skatesman is going to steal my prediction for. Con Oakley versus Myron Santos. Let me run down this fight for you. I got Con Oakley by round 2 submission. Con! The Turkish, if you watch Star Trek 2, you know. The Turkish Chads getting it done on Saturday, boys. The The guy is too explosive and dominant in his wrestling and submission ability to let Santos get back to his feet more than twice. And eventually he's cinching up the neck for the tap, like he did with Rody Rhodes. Not Cody Rhodes.
If there's a guy named Rody Rhodes.
Yes, it was a real name of a South African man.
What?
In the tough tournament. Look it up, dude.
What the fuck?
Also, the man's got fucking orc ears, dude, and his nose looks like it's fucking Voldemort's, dude. It's fucking pressed in there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they had their nickname for him was like Volderotes because he looks so much like the Dark Lord. Anyway, as good as Santos was in stuffing the takedowns of his tough opponents, Edwin Cooper Jr. was a drunk mess who barely put in any effort into his takedowns during their fight. And short notice replacement Guillermo Torres was able to get Santos down like 3 times, regardless of his quick get-ups. And he's not even a grappler. Hopefully he's going to get Myron Santos down and tap him out like by the second round. Though the Brazilian's very likable and has shown his potential so far to be a UFC contender at featherweight, his opponent has been a tornado and not a Tisha Pennington. He's been a tornado, and I don't see that changing here. I think we see another performance from Ofli similar to his scrap with Nathan Fletcher, who's also on this card, where Khan is just relentless enough to keep getting Santos down to the mat, regardless of how temporarily he does it. And eventually he gets the tap. Genghis Khan's making Myron Santos another one of his great grandkids.
And Vulcan's going for Ofli as well. Matua with another nickname rating. Love it. And 13 points. I think 13 points might be your highest nickname rating ever. Vulcan says, do you think Reese, Morales, Ofli, Caio parlay hits?
Let me think about that. I think it's risky, but there are bigger risks to make. Like,
risky for the biscuit, Vulcan.
I think Cow is the biggest risk there, but I still think that he wins. So I'd say that hits. But don't trust me with your fucking money. I'm just telling you that I have confidence in that. But yeah, I think hopefully he's gonna tear it up. I think he could actually be a threat at featherweight. So I can't wait to see what this young man, this 30-year-old kid, does.
Badass.
Hey, these two are badass fighters. I want you with Nate the Train.
Oh, I can't do the Vince McMahon one right now.
But then we move on to...
I piss everybody in this hotel off if I start doing Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna wake up my fucking parents too. So we then get to our third fucking tough fight on this card. Can we stop having tough fights on this card, please? Although this one is an exciting one between Ryan Loader and Robert Valentine. I got Ryan Loader by round 2 KO. What it do, SkateTank crew? Hey, man, listen. I really hope I'm wrong here, guys. But I've just got a gut feeling that Robert Valentine's going to get exposed here. No diddy. He's Robzilla, but Loader's Mecha Robzilla. We haven't seen him against any premier grapplers yet. And he has such a sloppy style that I feel at some point Loader's going to get him down. And once Ryan's on you, no diddy, he's like a fucking mouse.
Oh, my God.
Pinning you up against the side of the cage and hammering you. No Cosby. Until you quit.
Oh.
He's more than just
holy crap.
He's more than just a Muhammad Makayev. He intends to finish you on the ground, like a Moicano or a Nurmagomedov.
Oh, I thought you were getting another weird one.
No Jones?
No.
And I just don't know if the style of Valentine is prepared for that. I sort of doubt it. Now, there is a good chance that Robert Valentine gets the quick finish with a counter shot and puts Ryan out cold. I'm hoping so because he's I'll get to that later. I like this kid. I love everything about this kid. But I just think Loader's going to get him down and blow his Loader on his
I was waiting for that.
to the point the ref has to stop it. And I don't blame him. It's disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
Also, there's Robert's own grappling and submission potential. But come on. You're not going to out-grapple the grappler unless you're Yuri Prohaska. And this guy's more like Yuri Jr. Little Yuri. Look at this guy right here. Little Yuri. This is what we call him. Little Marco. The Man of Steel's going to be Valentine's kryptonite. Trust. He's going to take him down like Doomsday. Watched. But then we move on to let's see. We got the co-main event of the evening. Definitely a deserving co-main event if I've ever seen one. Angela Hill against Baby Shark. That's a relevant meme, right? People using that, right?
So Tabitha Ritchie looked fantastic in LFA, like really damn good. Getting finishes, beating chicks up. And then she went to the UFC and just like looked so lackluster. Angela Hill has wins over like Lupita Godinez, and I think this is a very similar style matchup, except for there's more.
Check this out, Skatesman.
Love Angela. We went to the same high school. Wow, that's fantastic. Did Angela Hill ever talk about Betty and Barney Hill being her grandparents and their UFO encounter? Very interested to hear about that. But anyway, Angie has beat this exact same style of opponent. When I first saw this fight on the card, I was like, oh, Tabitha Ritchie. But then I started thinking about it. Angela Hill's damn near 40, and I faded her in a lot of her past couple fights, and she's proved me wrong. I just think that this is a classic Angie Hill, matchup. She's going to have better striking than Ritchie, who just moves forward and doesn't really have anything calculated behind any of her strikes. And I think that her grappling defense will be more than enough to get it done. But like every classic Angie Hill performance, besides her last one where she got her very first ever submission win, it's going to split decision, guys. It's going to split decision. Angie Hill wins a splitty. And classic Angie Hill fight. Split decision win.
Dude, Sean is on point with the counters, man.
I think it's actually 4 no Diddy's, no Cosby, and I think 2 no Jones. And also you forgot a 1 no Izzy, but whatever. We'll let it slide.
You're such a freaking screw up, Sean. You better not screw it up next time, or else you're gone, buddy. I always count on Angela Hill because she never trained at Lloyd Irvin's gym.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of weird stuff that I've heard about Lloyd Irvin. Maybe you could let us know about that. But yes, I've heard a lot of East Coasters say a lot of weird stuff about Lloyd Irvin. So
yeah. Also, she's grown her freaking fro, dude, and thing's fucking huge. So she's looking hot, man. Barber overkill. Speaking of which, Sniff said that the barber overkilled her haircut.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and Sniff knows all about napping the hair, man. The guy knows from experience. But I have good old Hill by decision as well, same as the Idaho Skatesman. Woo!
Do we have any different picks on this card?
Well, let's wait until the main event.
We literally picked all the same fucking fights.
Yeah, we did.
That's wild.
Well, it's gonna cut. Hey, great minds think alike, right?
It's gonna come down to points, man.
Yeah, it's a game of fucking inches. No Diddy. But I got Angela Hill by decision. Angela has been looking really good as of late, not just in terms of her fights, but in terms of her looks. She's looking hot. She's having master classes against numerous prospects in the last couple years, like Emily Ducote, Denise Gomez, and Luana Pinheiro, all in her late 30s, even getting a submission at 39 years old against a fresh up-and-comer. Hill is quickly becoming the Yoel Romero or Glover
what?
Of the strawweight division.
No, that is a terrible assessment, dude. She actually throws punches.
I know, it's crazy, right? Only getting better with well, I compared it to Romero, okay? And he goes, but anyway, and against the highly overrated Baby Shark,
is she overrated?
Yes. That trajectory is not changing whatsoever. First of all, the idea she legitimately won against Tisha Pennington is Richie Rich. And she was beat by Lupita Godinez by split decision, but she had nothing for Lupi except the takedowns, which she either stuffed or converted into her own takedowns. Angela Hill's takedown defense has been good against everyone not named Mackenzie Dern, and that's forgivable. But Baby Shark is nowhere near the grappling talent of Dern, and if fucking Tisha the Tornado can neutralize her wrestling, I know Hill can and then some. I just see her beating the shit out of Baby Shark over 3 rounds like she did with Denise Gomez, or even getting a sub, but that's more of a rarity. When she successfully stuffs Ricci's takedowns in the first round, it's her that's going to be tasting blood in the water, not the Baby Shark. And then it's game over. We're going to see once again that Angela is not over the hill. Damn it, Bobby! That boy ain't right. Anyway, so yeah, a pretty easy one to predict. And let's move on to Skatesman's pick. Jesus Christ, dude. I didn't realize how bad it fucking was, but yeah, you got Borralho by decision. Tell me why, Skatesman.
Why? What is as bad as it was?
Well, you'll see.
You have Caio by decision as well. So this thing, so this thing happens in MMA where these things happen in MMA where you underrate a fighter and you overrate another fighter. Jared Cannonier in this case is the one being underrated. Caio in this case is the one being overrated. Just like the last fight that Jared had, which was a main event against Nasruddin Imavov. I thought he was fighting fairly good in that fight. Didn't really look washed. Didn't look bad. Nasruddin got the late stoppage. It was somewhat controversial. People thought it was an early stoppage, but I don't know, man. I think that Jared is a fantastic fighter. Still one of the top middleweights. This is Caio's toughest test in the weight class. And Caio is the reason I like Caio so much, especially in this matchup, is his patience. Guy takes his time. He doesn't rush things. He's a very smart fighter. He is a part of the Fighting Nerds, which is they're on a roll as of late. Gian Silva, Carlos Prates. But I just think that Caio has more MMA skill. He's a little bit faster. Jared obviously has knockout power. You know, obviously he fought at heavyweight, light heavyweight, and now a middleweight. And actually, I think he has knockouts in all three of those weight classes, if I'm not mistaken. I think this will be a close fight. I got Caio edging it out, though. But I don't know, man. I just think Caio, he's looking damn good, and I'm glad that he got the spot. And he called for this fight. If you remember, after his last fight, he said, "I want Jared Cannonier next," and he got it. So good for him. I think it's a tough test, though. I wouldn't be surprised if, and again, that's why I'm picking him by decision. I think Jared's going to look better than we think he is. And I think Caio, if he doesn't do anything miraculous and impressive, I think that the fans are actually kind of sour on him after this performance. But that's just my take.
Pristine nerd emoji from Sean the Leprechaun Moody. And I also have Caio Borralho by decision. Okay. I know it's a very risky decision. I know that's coming out of left field, but bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I think that Cannonier's finally gotten past his prime at this stage in his middleweight career. He looked like dog shit against Nasruddin Imavov, in my opinion. Losing on the feet, taking power shots worse, and having exhausted grappling against the cage. It's sort of a mid-performance all around in my book, and not the brilliant and quick boxer I remember against Marvin Vettori, who's actually a lame win to have, given that Marvin Vettori might be the worst-ranked UFC middleweight right now.
I disagree with that. He's actually the youngest one out of all those guys, unless Caio tracks into the top 10 after this performance. But
well, you're not going to enjoy the rest of my statement here. Anyone can connect on Vettori Flush. He might as well join the Shannon Ross fan club. But Cannonier isn't looking like a killer gorilla at all right now, despite how many times he wears that stupid 4-year-old hoodie. With all that being said, I just feel like Caio Borralho is going to just outmuscle him over 5 rounds with better grappling, and then once Cannonier's exhausted, the striking is going to be wide open for Borralho, and his opponent's getting beaten up. I don't see a finish just because Cannonier's tough as nails, and he's got good enough grappling defense that he won't get subbed, but Caio Borralho's a fight nerd, and his gym has been dominating as of late. So that's what he's going to be doing in this fight. He's going to dominate. He'll look like a natural, as his name suggests, and maybe, just maybe, fight Israel Adesanya in the near future. Show those pearly whites, baby. Let them shine. Jared Cannonier. Na-na-na-na. Boop-boo-doo-doo-doo.
Hey, what's up, Andre? He says, I am Brazilian. Sorry for my horrible English. Do you know the biggest event of Latin America, Jungle Fight? I do know about Jungle Fight, man. Shout out to Jungle Fight. That's a fantastic regional level promotion from Brazil, and actually a lot of good prospects come in off of that specific promotion. So, yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to Brazil, man.
Wasn't Alex Pereira in Jungle Fight at some point?
Not sure.
I believe that was like his first MMA fight that he had in like a cage was in Jungle Fight, but I'm not sure. But a lot of great Brazilian fighters have gone through that promotion. It's got a lot of fucking violence, dude. Porra, porra. So, or as Al Pacino would put it, hooah, hooah. You know. Anyway, on Talbot's page, Jungle Fight is awesome. I love that league. I'm an MMA junkie. I love Jungle Fight. Just put it into my veins," said Isha. I love that city life is here, man. Okay, thanks, Isha. I'll eat some shrooms and watch it. Maybe you could combine it with
no, I mean that would probably be the best way to watch a Peyton Talbot video. So
speaking of which, hey, Amberly's here.
Amberly, what's good?
Sir,
and also we got CST in the house. He says, "Is that a Power Slap shirt?" Yes, it is. It's a Power Slap shirt. I wear it ironically, and actually it's one of my work shirts. I'm on a work trip right now, so got the good old Power Slap shirt on.
I don't know what you're talking about, CST. Power Slap is the best sports promotion ever. Just ask the freaking Chinese whether it's the most popular sport in the entire
or the Indians.
Post it on TikTok. I'm not defending Power Slap. Wait, what does Isha say up here? Watch all his videos as you trip. Haha, the editing style is wild and crazy, guys. Sniff. I thought he just had a fight in the jungle, not fight in Jungle Fight. They do fight in the jungle, Sniff. It's actually on like a weird 2008 camera, and like there's a black mamba at some point, and it fucking attacks them. It's very
well, yeah. And then I think that they also fight in like a cavern, and then you like pull a thing off of a mantle, and then like a big boulder chases you through a cave.
But let's keep looking.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sorry.
Rio Heroes, IVC, Jungle Fights, Bunda matches. Hey, everybody can get down with the fucking Bunda, man. I would love to have what's her fucking face, that Canadian Norma Dumont in fucking Jungle Fight. You put those fucking Bundas to shame, man. Maybe Kim Kardashian in there as well. Hey, Amberly, me and Hank shouted you out on the stream. I did, Berber. The next event of Jungle will be on Saturday. Okay. Should we run down Jungle Fight, Skatesman?
No, we're not doing that.
Damn it. Isha, all right. The Shrooms comment was in response to my Peyton Talbot comment. Oh.
That's hilarious.
Didn't Peyton Talbot like do a vape in his butt at one point?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, Rigo told us about that. And,
these kids nowadays, man, they're just gay. It is what it is.
Everybody's fucking hugging and kissing right now. Everybody gets to in the SkateTank army, man. We're not a fan of don't ask, don't tell. Okay, so do whatever you want. Okay.
Yeah, we're not kink shaming around here.
Yeah, skating plus shrooms equals Peyton Talbot's YouTube channel. Nice. Well, I'm gonna have to check it out. It's probably better than MMA. Yeah,
can't wait to not watch that. Isha, thanks.
Jeez, harsh. Trained Isha up the weights today for every exercise by 5 pounds. That man's face is starting to get to the sides of his.
Yeah, Vulcan, when are you gonna have a fight? I thought you were gonna make a MMA debut soon.
Vulcan's turned into James Gandolfini. He could go for an Italian man. Attaboy. Hank do jungle fights. No, his Bodie smoked a vape up his butt. I see.
Andrea, obrigado for being in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, I think if I make fun of BJJ, this guy's gonna fucking kill me, and then I'm gonna have to eat my way out of an arm.
Isha literally asked if we're doing deep predictions. No. Why? Why would we do deep predictions? Well, we don't know who this fighter is, so yeah, that would be terrible.
I was planning to do one this year, but maybe it will be early next year. Still not sure when exactly. Well, I know he's fighting against Denial in that one regional promotion. They're both getting bulked up for it. It's going to be battle of the City Life fucking family going at each other's throats. So nothing's great. Nothing's better than infighting, man. Miami BJJ is Hank's favorite martial art. Yes, it is. Just ask Claudio Puelles what I think of BJJ, as well as Bryce Hall. Those guys are fucking whizzes.
Well, yeah, that's the card, man. I don't think it's going to be a very great card, but
I disagree.
I don't, but that's why I said it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping for good fights. But yeah, I think that there's actually some other shit that you can watch this weekend that'll probably end up being better.
Well,
Like the
you know,
K1.
I'll do some fucking predictions for deep in your chat, Isha. Will that make you feel any better? Obrigado translates to overboard. I am 100.
Oh my god, dude, he has no idea how to translate things, dude. It's thank you in Portuguese.
Not good. Speaking of which, what the fuck is this?
All right, dude, it's been like an hour and a half. We gotta end the stream, man.
All right. But I think it's gonna be an all right card just because I've been following tough, and there's a lot of fights which I think will get a finish. So we should have some action either way. But one thing I do know is that it's gonna be people like punching each other on the noggin, and they'll be like, woo, woo, in the background because that's shit fucking Apex. I can't wait for it to be ripped down boar by fucking boar.
It's not gonna be.
Also, guys, there's MMA 24/7 on Friday. Road to UFC 2 shows, dude. KSW, LFA. Who gives a fuck about those two? But UFC's on as well, guys, and goddamn deep. So check it all out. And let me finish this off by saying you have escaped the war zone for now. When the clock strikes 6:30, babe.